Please be seated. Executive Vice President Hungerford, faculty colleagues, alumni, doctoral candidates, and their families and friends. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2022 convocation for PhD candidates in the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. In today's ceremony, we recognize our graduating class of 2022, but also our equally important graduate classes of 2020 and 2021. After having been through so much during these past 2 years, it is pure joy for us to be able to be here today, finally, together. I thank all of you for coming to celebrate the many accomplishments of our doctoral candidates. We honor today a magnificent group that on commencement this coming Wednesday will receive the highest academic degree in the land, and who will join the ranks of our over 47,000 alumni, and who will embark on professional and academic careers around the world in the great tradition of Columbia University. Equally important, we also honor today the families and friends of our candidates who have endured with them the long rigors of their academic pursuit. Thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for being so supportive and understanding, and above all, so very patient. I would ask all PhD candidates to rise and applaud those friends and family members who have helped them to be here today. Today's keynote address will be offered by Professor David Scott. David Scott is a Ruth and William Lubbock Professor and Chair of the Department of Anthropology at Columbia University. Professor Scott is one of the leading Caribbean thinkers and has been recognized for his contribution to post-colonial criticism. His work concerns rethinking the history of the colonial past for the post-colonial present, which has encompassed a variety of inquiries into tradition and generations, dialogue and criticism, self-determination and sovereignty, tragedy and temporality, and transitional justice and liberalism. Professor Scott is the co-editor of one book and the author of 5, with 3 more books currently in progress, including a biography of Stuart Hall. He's also the director of the Small Acts Project and the editor of the journal Small Acts, which he founded in 1997 with the aim of participating in both the renewal of practices of intellectual and cultural criticism in the Caribbean and the expansion and revision of the scope and horizons of such criticism. He was a curatorial director of the exhibitions Caribbean Queer Visualities and the Visual Life of Social Affliction, and the director of the Caribbean Modernism Project, and is currently the lead curator of the Kingston Biennale of 2022. Professor Scott.
Dean Alonso, Executive Vice President Hungerford, esteemed colleagues around me, honored families and friends, and needless to say, most of all, to you, graduates, for without you, this moment would be irrelevant. I am very grateful for the opportunity to address you on this splendid occasion, and what an immensely gratifying moment it is. Surely, this must count as one version of what the future in the present looks like. A super qualified generation of young people getting ready to take its place in the world. Each of you, I know, has worked incredibly hard to get here. And here you all are in your regalia, with a whole new horizon before you. If I might put it this way, we are witness here to a certain form of the institution of time, of what it means to participate in the whole temporal process of learning. You entered through one end of the portal of Columbia some years ago as a certain person with a certain vision and a certain expectation. And now you are leaving through the other end of the portal of Columbia, partly the same and partly a different person, with a vision and an expectation that are partly the same, but also considerably different than the one with which you entered. Something remains, but a lot has changed, not just in what you know or what you have, but in who you now are, who you have become. It is this change that is remarkable and unrepeatable, and therefore invaluable. This is my theme here, the receptivity to changing yourselves, being open to time and learning and inheritance, and as you will see in a moment, the honor and the duty of thinking. You are, as I say, the future in the present. I don't mean this trivially. This is what successive generations in effect are, the way by which the future comes into the present. But alas, like all futurities, this one comes with its share of questions. You will undoubtedly have to ask yourselves, if you haven't already done so, what today is a PhD in the arts and sciences for? What are you being certified to do? I do not mean by these questions to throw you into an existential crisis, to rob you of the exuberant sense of achievement you must feel today. Hardly. I only want to remind you of what you already know, or at least have some sense of, namely the necessity, the obligation, the desire to connect the last several years to the years to come. And this you will doubtless do through the mediation of that structure we call the world. And yet, what an unhappy world. It is easy enough to see, looking around at the world near and far, that we live in a brutally, mercilessly punishing and challenging time. The details need not detain me. They are known to all of us. It is a time of endlessly mutating virus, of the horrific violations and depredations and displacements of invasion and war, of seemingly unstoppable environmental catastrophe, of unspeakable acts of racist violence, of alarming rates of impoverishment and homelessness, of ever new versions of brazen political cynicism and shameless deceit. The list could go on and on. There is no shortage of human misery and human suffering around us. And everyone knows, avowedly or disavowedly, that the burdens of this suffering are unequally distributed within states and between them. It is hard, I know, to summon up the will to squarely face this reality as our reality. And yet, of course, face it we must. Above all, you must. For it is our common world, the only one we have. Indifference, therefore, is insupportable, unacceptable. It is a world we share unequally, it is true, but share nevertheless. We didn't necessarily ask for it, or for it to be the way that it is. But whether we like it or not, the world is what it is, and that world is our inheritance, your inheritance. It is an ambiguous gift, perhaps like all gifts, at once a blessing and an encumbrance. And even when our impulse is to turn away from it in anger or frustration, the odd thing is we still carry it with us. For that inheritance is not external to us. It is always already part of who we are. So if you ask, what today is a PhD in the arts and sciences for? What have you been certified to do? The answer is not to get a job. Though I sincerely hope you all get good jobs. We all need good jobs. But your PhD is not simply the emblem of your arrival at a professional standing, the magisterial sign of disciplinary knowledge and expertise. It is principally something else. Your PhD is the title of your commitment to the honor of thinking in the world that is your inheritance. I take thinking to be a modest but indispensable practice of living with the world and those we share it with, of gaining a perspective that depends less on the strictures of disciplinary reason than on the exchange of wisdoms, less on the authority of experts than the dialogue of disparate experiences, with all the decorousness and civility and decency. This sense of community requires us to cultivate. I am going to hope that above all, beyond the rituals of your respective disciplines, what you learned here at Columbia University is the honor and the duty of thinking. I leave you then with words more profound than any I myself could offer, namely those of the great Spanish poet Antonio Machado, one of the leading poets of the literary generation of the Spanish-American War of 1898 that so shaped the 20th century and beyond. In verse evoking a mode of being in the world, I wish to commend to you. Machado wrote, "Traveler, your footprints are the path and nothing more. O traveler, there is no path. The path is made by walking." I have always found this fragment inspiring because of the relationship between thinking and acting it celebrates. In his troubling, enchanting way, Machado invites us to consider a form of life in which we make our futures not by seeking to know them in advance by means of a comprehensive plan that we can rationally and confidently implement, but by making them, by the thoughtful mindedness of opening up directions and opportunities in the very process of opening up directions and opportunities, footfall by footfall. So graduates, go out into this challenging world, seeking not only to discover your paths as though they were already there waiting for you to find them, but to make them with your own distinctive footprints. A mighty shout out of congratulations to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Scott. We now arrive at the central point of the ceremony, the presentation of the doctoral candidates. We ask you to come forth as we call your name in recognition of your individual accomplishments as you cross the stage. If you would rather not shake hands, we will take our cue from you. Okay?
Receiving the doctoral degree in anthropology. Receiving the doctoral degree in applied mathematics. Kathy Lee. Chan Yang Ryu. Kwang Huang. Hui Lee. Jessica Erin Orline. Receiving the doctoral degree in applied physics. Mel Claire Abler. Cha Hao Liu. Sai Swarup Sangku. Jia Yang Hu. Bok Young Kim. Receiving the doctoral degree in art history and archaeology. Sofia Tefta Moria Dadillo. Isabella Lores Chavez. Emma Jean Cataldo. Andrea Nina Horisaki Christens. Alexis Wang. Leah Warrior. Receiving the doctoral degree in architecture. Addison McMillan Godell. Receiving the doctoral degree in astronomy. Nicole Melso. Stephen Mohammed. Julia Blue Bird. Aliyah Noor Virgie Bobble. Daniel DeFilippis. Mihir Kulkarni. Tomer Dov Yavets. Receiving the doctoral degree in biological sciences. Alexander Alloy. Marlene Buckmaster. Elena Carrazzo Arias. Ana Maria Lo Calle.
All the way up to the top step.
Divya Venkatesh.
All the way up to the top step.
Amr Al-Zain. Lu Shu. Yi Fang. Xiong Feng. James Martin. Receiving the doctoral degree in biomedical engineering. Stanislav Chitkov. Neda Melanie Basir Kazaruni. Charles August Rodenkirk.
Brian Shriver.
Kaveri Anil Thakur. Tao Tu. Shui Qing Liu. Ling Ting Shi. Michael Mark Sutton. Shreya Narasimhan. Nabil Etahadi. Nilufar Saharhis. Tetsuhiro Harimoto. Candice Robin Gurbatri. Maria Eleni Karakatsani. Gregorius Mario Karagaragos. Robin G. Stephen Alexander Lee. Rachel Diane Field. David Alexander Colburn. Siddharth Arumugam. Kevin Grant Burt. Timothy Jacobson. Christopher Zachary Mosier. David Nicholas Thibodeau. Receiving the doctoral degree in biomedical informatics. Tian Kang. James Richard Rogers. Receiving the doctoral degree in business. Kim Faye Kramer. Carrie Yang Siani. Tai Sok O. Malik Abdirazak Ben Sleeman.
Khaled Bohanmi.
Yegor Kachenko. Matthew Heiser Stevenson. Receiving the doctoral degree in Cellular, Molecular, and Biomedical Studies. Jordan Shea Kessner. Nicholas Paul Giangreco. Sonny Jones. Receiving the doctoral degree in business. Yu Ding. Receiving the doctoral degree in Cellular, Molecular, and Biomedical Studies. Julie E. Sarah Viragova. Micah Allen Rapp. Receiving the doctoral degree in business. Lyra Rocho Damota Mertens. Yifeng Guo. Receiving the doctoral degree in chemistry. Nicole Lorraine Mendel. Mian Wei. Sarah Dubnik. Benjamin Betchand. Emily Marie Churchill. Alexander Paul Ide. Wei Li Li. Xiao Zhang. Tea Tsenkovich. Receiving the doctoral degree in chemical engineering. Abdullah Saleh A. Altorbach. Stephen Robert Denny. Marissa Elizabeth Sylvia Beatty. Tony Gordon Ferrick. Justin Michael Horn. Vivian Young. Allison Fankhauser. Han Huynh. Sophia Chan. Xuanting Wang. Receiving the doctoral degree in civil engineering and engineering mechanics. Suyan Wang. Jumari Robinson. Eleonora Maria Tronci. Ryan Yuan Hung Lung. Ioannis Petromikalakis. Nikolaos Napoleon Vlasis. Yuki Mirwa. Lampros Svolos. Hyung Suk So. Jonathan Russ. Receiving the doctoral degree in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Song-Yu Yu. Receiving the doctoral degree in Communications,
Efrat Nechushti. Rosalind Donald.
Receiving the doctoral degree in Computer Science, Zhu Xiaofang Yang. Rami Naga Eskander. Mohammed Tariq bin Ziyad Mohammed Hassan. Robert Colgan. Nilofer Bayat. Shiqi Wang. Ji Ya Quan. Bo Yuan Chan. Sandeep Sinha. Victor Soto Martinez. Yanis Karamanolakis. Receiving the doctoral degree in Earth and Environmental Engineering, Adam Atiyah. Che Woon Jong Potter. Yi Shi Tian. Shi Chan. Receiving the doctoral degree in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Mukund Palat Rao. Nathan John Lillis Lenson.
Thomas Leighton Collins Weiss.
William Henry Tobin. Julian Jacob Spurgel.
Elise McKenna Myers.
Alexandra Lucine Bogosian. Laura Kristen Grunberg. Rachel Epstein Marzin. Receiving the doctoral degree in Computer Science, Chang Xiao. Receiving the doctoral degree in Earth and Environmental Sciences, Dr. Sean Ridge. Dr. Lucas Gleggy. Receiving the doctoral degree in East Asian Languages and Cultures, Chloe Estep. Abigail McBain. Yiwen Shen. Receiving the doctoral degree in Economics, Paul Sung-Wook Ko. Dong Woo Hom. Paul Buskas. In-Shi Xie. David Alfaro Serrano. Tatiana Avalova. David Abraham Rosenkrantz. Dario Alberto Romero Fonseca. Silvio Ravioli. Daniel Mark Deibler. Shruti Mishra. Louise Hélène Guillouette. Sarah Shahanaji. Ju Hyang Shin. Vinayak Iyer. Mengdi Shi. Motaz Al-Shanadi. Yue Yu. Meng Shuo Wang. Xiao Xu. Matthew Michael Mazuski. Jose Miguel Acosta. Joseph Saya. Receiving the doctoral degree in Ecology, Evolution, and Environmental Biology. Pedro Ribeiro Piffer. Shaylee Shah. Sean Ko Giesbrecht. Jaslyn Hall. Meredith Van Acker. Receiving the doctoral degree in Electrical Engineering. William Michael Yule. Wei Zhong Wang. Shravan Siddhartha Nagam.
Vivek Mangal.
Ziyi Ju. Min Yi Te.
Chung Hang Ye.
Ting Jun Chen. Stephen Xia. Dong Kwan Kim. Mehmet Kerem Turkan. Mehranoush Shafi'i. Kai E. Ju. Su Young Park. Receiving the doctoral degree in English and Comparative Literature. Jessica Jess Engebretson. Lee Chi Pei. Christine Catherine McGinn. Danielle Nicole Dries. Timothy Lundy. Bernadette Myers. Jenna Alexis Schoen. Receiving the doctoral degree in theater. Maeve McHugh. Receiving the doctoral degree in environmental health sciences. Mike Zhongyu He. Nicole Therese Comfort. Sebastian Thonet Rowland. Receiving the doctoral degree in epidemiology. John Richard Pamplin. Precious Ijoma Essie. Byung Jun Kim. Adriana Maldonado Martinez. Lubna Al Nasser. Ivy Mushamiri. Ayana Kadeja April Sanders. Receiving the doctoral degree in science education. Julia Elizabeth Sable. Receiving the doctoral degree in French and Romance philology. David Haziza. Receiving the doctoral degree in genetics and development. Ozasamwin Virginia Imiowu. Yi Jing Chen. Receiving the doctoral degree in Germanic languages. Peter Kalal.
Evan Parks.
Receiving the doctoral degree in history. Jordan Rebecca Katz. Alma Igra. Tamar Menashe. Shulamit Shinar. Devin Cheney Golashevsky. Paul Katz. Roy Bar Sadeh. Aaron Lewis Mendon Plashek. Titilola Halimat Somatam. John Francis Morris. Carolyn Maris. Adam Christopher Matthews. Sean Thomas O'Neill. Susanna Vuljevich. Stephen Mark Cave. Receiving the doctoral degree in Earth and Environmental Sciences.
Jan Erik Testal.
Receiving the doctoral degree in Latin American and Iberian cultures. Santiago Acosta. David Mejia. Alexandra Mendez. Receiving the doctoral degree in mathematics. Alexander Kravitz. Chung Hang Huan. Jingzi Ju. Alexander John Pylok. Stanislav Ivanov Atanasov. Win Chi Dong. Receiving the doctoral degree in neurobiology and behavior. Ashley Morgan. Sana Chintaman. Marcos Lanio. Naveen Sendelnathan. Dar Gilboa. Neely Mishra. Francisco Peña. Receiving the doctoral degree in mechanical engineering. Shun Wang.
Aikot Akse.
Antonio Prado. Isirame Omofuma. Lei Shi. Brandon Kendrick Zimmerman. Chung Hwan Lee. Receiving the degree Doctor of Musical Arts.
Vincente Hansen Atrie.
Receiving the doctoral degree in music composition. Receiving the degree Doctor of Musical Arts in Music Composition. Mary Irma Kuyumjian. Receiving the doctoral degree in music. Turu Momi. Mario Roberto Cancel Bigay. Audrey Amselem.
Elliot Cairns.
Mark Scott Sacomano. Receiving the doctoral degree in Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies. Mohammed Wadzji Ben Hamed. Karim Malek. Christine Hope Marwa Karwaski. Sohaib Ibrahim Khan. Receiving the doctoral degree in psychology. Monica Kim Gang Tu. Mir Jacobi. Paul Alexander Bloom. James Patrick Dunley. Matthew Ryan Sisko. Maniza Sultana Dawood. Federica Pinelli. Receiving the doctoral degree in nursing, Leah Vanessa Estrada. Bettina Ross Saldua Idnay. Receiving the doctoral degree in philosophy,
Usha Nathan.
receiving the doctoral degree in operations research, Yun Jie Sun. Ye Qing Zhou. Xiao Shu. Agatha Camille Soret. Enrique Lelo de la Rea Andrade. Omar Elusni.
Usama Hankar.
Yan Chen. Xin Yu Zhang. Jalaj Bandari.
Not your fault. Yeah, here it is.
Receiving the doctoral degree in pharmacology and molecular signaling, Tamara Zarek. Receiving the doctoral degree in pathobiology and molecular medicine, Yoon Kim. Stuart Quinn. William Robb. Timothy James Song. Receiving the doctoral degree in political science, Noah Zucker. Theodoros Milanopoulos. Richard Thomas Clark. Donald Philip Kasler. Bryn A. McCarthy. Oliver McClellan. Anya Kilabarda. Anna Vilka. Georgi Sonyaev. Justin Key Canfill. Merlin Noel Heidemans. Receiving the doctoral degree in statistics, Florian Stebek.
Alessandro Antonio Grande.
Miguel Angel Garrido Garcia. Charles Christopher Margosian. Elliot Gordon Rodriguez. Tong Li. Ding Zhou. Chao Yu Yuan. Zhe Wang. Connor Cullen. Receiving the doctoral degree in philosophy, Natalia Rogak Alexander. Matthew Heaney. Receiving the doctoral degree in physics, Conrad Wentz. Yukting Albert Law. Doa Veska. Aiden Zhenhao Lam. Zimo Sun. E.D. Zhao. Qi Sheng. Wei Hu. Yun Zhang. Receiving the doctoral degree in sociology, Adriana Munson. Joss Green. Brittany Nicole Fox Williams. Jalika Sal. Anthony Ureña. Bailey Alexandra Brown, receiving the doctoral degree in Slavic languages. Ina Kapilovich.
Alex Pekov.
Receiving the doctoral degree in social work. Charlotte Allison McCullough, receiving the doctoral degree in sustainable development. Raimundo Atal. Zihan Choi.
No, he's socio-medical. Hold up.
Receiving the doctoral degree in socio-medical sciences. David James Erickson. Heather Works. Caitlin Elizabeth McMahon. Sharon Hope Green. Karen Xiu Yi. Gina A. J. Receiving the doctoral degree in religion. Rex D. Barnes. Yan Chen Liu. Ebad Rahman. Receiving the doctoral degree in kinesiology. Ashley Miller Goodwin. Vincenzo Lauriola. Receiving the doctoral degree in anthropology and education. Amelia Simone Herbert. Receiving the doctoral degree in applied anthropology. Darlene Elizabeth Dubuisson. Prashanth Kukanathan. Sarah French Brennan. Chelsea Good Abbas. Receiving the doctoral degree in applied behavior analysis. Elizabeth Ellen Snell. Shahed Sharaf M. Al-Sherif. Jessica Ann Horton. Aparna Naresh. Ife Sun. Hung Chang. Carly Marissa Hyman. Ji Young Kim. Gabriela Pedrero Davila. Hui Chu. Catherine I. Garcia. Joanna Vilcheski. Receiving the doctoral degree in behavioral disorders. Kate Craven Nealon.
Receiving the doctoral degree in economics and education.
Tatiana Velasco Rodriguez. Yang Zhou.
Receiving the doctoral degree in behavioral nutrition.
Deanna Sahur Ijaz. Noor Alawadi. Receiving the doctoral degree in clinical psychology. Sandy Xinhui Huang. Lauren Mary Foley. Arielle Emmeline Jean-Pierre. Receiving the doctoral degree in cognitive science in education. Marielle Rebecca Halpern. Receiving the doctoral degree in comparative and international education. Lynn Nuet Duan. Manuel Enrique Cardozo. Brittany Jean Kenyon. Irina Iwasaki. La Jiadu.
Receiving the doctoral degree in cognitive science and education.
Chad J. Coleman. Receiving the doctoral degree in educational leadership.
Okay.
Christy Joy Joswick O'Connor.
Receiving the doctoral degree in counseling psychology.
Nadine Postolake. Sylvia Alves Nishioka. Nina Lay.
Receiving the doctoral degree in cognitive science and education.
Lauren Kelly Schiller. Receiving the doctoral degree in English education. Gregory Green.
You're good. Yeah.
Jonas M. Elbusti. Ian Mavro Coggins.
Gregory Bruno.
Joyce Annette Maxwell. Receiving the doctoral degree in educational policy. Samantha Melvin. Receiving the doctoral degree in developmental psychology. Tiana Deschenay Moore.
Receiving the doctoral degree in cognitive science and education.
Ray Gong.
Receiving the doctoral degree in economics and education.
Sabine Zander.
Receiving the doctoral degree in mathematics education.
Shu Yi Shu.
Receiving the doctoral degree in politics and education.
Stephen Q. Kornman.
Receiving the doctoral degree in measurement and evaluation.
Jia Qing Chang. Rui Lu.
Receiving the doctoral degree in physical disabilities.
Elizabeth Ann Rosenzweig. Elaine Rebecca Smolin.
Pronounce it Onudea.
Receiving the doctorate in physical disabilities. Onudea Nikaluka Rakis. Receiving the doctorate in Middle Eastern, South Asian, and African Studies.
Ali Naji Mugania.
Do they not have this? Receiving the doctoral degree in science education.
Adam Stefanil. Jamie Thomas Parker. Tyrone DeLong Dash II. Receiving the doctoral degree in philosophy and education. Qi Fan Zhang.
Receiving the doctoral degree in mathematics education.
Jana Schwarzberg. Receiving the doctoral degree in social organizational psychology. Amy Renee Lace. Joshua Elmore.
Receiving the doctoral degree in teaching of social studies.
John Shikitka. Receiving the doctoral degree in urban planning. Danielle Lucia Petretta. Tyler David Haupert.
You guys are good.
Receiving the doctoral degree in urban planning. Sophanie Josephs.
Bernadette Baird Zars.
Go, Bernadette!
Magda Maui. Elizabeth Marie Marcello. Jonathan Joseph English.
That's a lot of babies. And then they say graduate school can't be fun. Now my parting remarks to the graduating class. You have acquired while at Columbia the skills to create knowledge in your discipline, but also simply the habit of creating knowledge, and not just the content of new knowledge, but novel forms of producing, evaluating its social impact, and communicating it. The turn of the 20th century understanding of academic disciplines as bounded by self-evident limits that were patrolled by their practitioners has given way in the contemporary university to new configurations that we're straining to encompass through the imaginative creations of new labels and institutional arrangements. Another university is being born before our eyes, and during your stay here, you have both witnessed and helped produce that transformation. In the last 30 years or so, the university has been challenged to abandon one of its most cherished founding conceits, the institution's avowed separation from the larger social world, the fantasy that at its gates, instrumentality and the market were held at bay. And as it happens with the dissolution of fantasies of every kind, the subject who now has to confront a new life without them is left simultaneously wiser and yet more vulnerable. This more porous understanding of the relationship between the university and the larger social fabric implies that the distinction between those of us who will remain in the university and you who are about to leave the institution becomes more tenuous and less precise. The University of the Future will be constructed as a collective project that will involve both its current members and you, the soon-to-be alumni of the institution. You may be physically absent from the campus, but that absence should not be mistaken as a license to dissociate from the ongoing life of your department or your school. While we hope fervently that you have had a wonderful experience at Columbia, we do not want you to think of your graduate studies through the mind's eye of nostalgia or only of reminiscence. Nostalgia, as you know, is wont to idealize and falsify. As Marcel Proust famously pronounced, and I quote, "The remembrance of things past is not necessarily the remembrance of things as they were." Or as Faulkner concluded in Light in August, "Memory believes before knowing remembers." Instead, what I would ask is that you define your relationship to Columbia from this moment on using the same analytical tools and skills that you have learned during your studies here, that you consider rigorously your sojourn as a graduate student in this institution and help shape this evolving understanding of the university into the best, most supple experience it can be for those of us who remain, both current students and administrators, and for those yet to arrive. You have a privileged vantage point from which to evaluate your experience here as comprising a full trajectory, a completed whole, before the powerful allure of nostalgia does its fragrant and sweet work. When you become alumni on Wednesday, you should also be aware that we will need your critical eye and your steadfast commitment to that critical perspective to ensure that we who remain here continue to do our best work. You will be emissaries You will be our emissaries to the world, and all of us at Columbia will rejoice in your inevitable achievements. Yet you should also take every opportunity to let us know how best to prepare our students for a world that you will soon know much better than we. A world that no longer sits outside these gates passively awaiting your arrival, if it ever did, and whose requirements and demands now suffuse everything we do within these walls. The pandemic from which we are now emerging has been a terrible universal experience, but it has also required that we learn other ways of belonging and participating that are not limited to being physical present in the same space. These new, seemingly centrifugal formulations of community will make it possible for you to remain firmly tethered to the life of your department and school in ways that will redefine the meaning of your physical absence from this campus. Hence, be proud alumni of Columbia, but remain involved as well. Applying the critical distance you have cultivated in your graduate studies to the education you received here and transmitting to us your ideas on how to improve it will be perhaps the highest demonstration of your loyalty to this institution and to the degree that you will confer this week. We will await expectantly your good counsel and your wisdom. We arrive then at the end of this magnificent ceremony. Go forth, prosper, and prevail. Make us and your relatives and friends prouder still about you than we are today. Will the candidates stand so we may give them a final round of applause? You're invited to a champagne reception immediately following this ceremony at Ansel Plaza under the tent. I ask friends and families to wait to exit until after the faculty and candidates have ascended the steps to Upper Campus. Thank you.
This concludes the GSAS PhD ceremony. Graduates,